Every single time I come outside, it starts raining. I feel like someone's put a hex on me. Right, I'm absolutely piss wet through. Right, I left my window down. Great, awesome, that's cool. Oh my god. I've just stood on it and I've just snapped it. Oh. The only tool involved in this is the dickhead who decided it would be a good idea to put these instead of Jubilee clips. I've honestly not been pissed off like this in ages. Hello everybody, we've got the Mustang, we've got the Jag on the drive. We've got the Jag on the drive today, and we've made a bit of a mistake with something. I'm not gonna lie. I don't really usually admit to making mistakes because, you know, I'm right 100% time. I'm right about everything. I actually have a phrase. I don't open my mouth unless I know I'm right about something. Today I'm probably wrong about something, to be fair. As you can see in one of the last videos, well, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, this has probably been one of the most temperamental, unreliable cars I've owned. I'm hoping that that's just because I've only just bought it. I'm hoping that that's only because we've just bought it and we're just, like, you know, doing little tweaky things that maybe haven't been done in the past, or it's a sign it's going to be the most reliable car I've ever owned. Hopefully it's not. Touch wood, because I've got to drive to Italy in a couple of weeks. Yes, to do the True Rally route. The True Rally route next, we're going through the Swiss Alps, the Stelvio Pass, and having a night out in Milan. So if you have interest in True Rally, it's a driving holiday for car enthusiasts. It's going to be our biggest rally yet. It'll be over 4 days. 4 days, we buy absolutely everything. All you buy is fuel. We buy your hotels, we buy your private bars, we buy your dinner, we give you your breakfast, everything. We plan the route, we know every single stop on the route, you won't get lost, and it's the cheapest rally out there for what you get. So yeah, True Rally, I've got to go and do the route in a few weeks to Italy through Stelvio Pass and the Swiss Alps. I'm absolutely buzzing about it. I'm also scared, so I've got to take the Jag, and I'm not sure if I just said that. It's quite unreliable. Now, one of the things we did in the last video is that we did the exhaust, and I hate to say it, guys, it's too loud. It does sound good, but it's just too loud. I can't daily it anymore. It's just that loud that it doesn't shut up in drive either. Even in drive, it's like bang, 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 and everyone just hates me. And it doesn't even look like a sporty car at the minute because I know I've still got the terrible wheels on, but I can't find any aftermarket wheels. I don't think the F-type ones will fit. I'm trying to find a guy who's selling them so I can test fit them on the back, because apparently they're going to stick out another 48mm, and that is definitely not 48mm. But then some people tell me that Jag F-type wheels will fit. It's not fun, and I'm not so sure whether to just keep these, paint them black and get some spacers, but I know what's going to happen. I'm going to get them black, get some spacers, some F-type wheels are going to pop up really cheap, I'm going to put them on, they're going to fit, and I'm going to waste all my money. So I don't really know what to do. But anyway, the exhaust is just way too loud. I hate to say it, guys. I mean, it's cool, but like, it's making me not want to put my foot down. I don't really like loud cars anymore. Like, I like them if they sound good. I don't like loud cars. And this is a day that's just making me not want to drive it fast because I'm just so terrified about looking like a twat. So anyway, we got in touch with Exhaust Works and they sent me out their box. Don't taking the piss out of Exhaust Works. Gary said, look mate, we can put the straight pipe on. If you want the back boxes, it's not a big deal. We'll just send you some out. So Exhaust Works, absolute legends. They have sent me 2 back boxes for the Jag. So here they are, the 2 back boxes for the Jag, and it shouldn't take us too long to change them because their straight pipe version and their back box version, they use the same mid bit. So all you got to do is just unbolt the back and bolt this one on. So now I've got the straight pipe and the back box. Funnily enough, actually, I've read a lot online. These engines don't like being straight piped at the back. Someone actually said this on the same. He said he had a C63, he straight piped and it lost like 30 or 40 horsepower. Apparently these engines like the back pressure, so having these ones is going to be better for that as well. I don't know how true that is, but I guess we'll see. But it's just going to quiet it down a bit. It's not going to take it back to stock. It's not going to be so loud as now. It's going to be a good in between. So it shouldn't take us too long because the exhaust has just been put on, so we're not going to deal with any rusty bolts. Let's jack the back end up to get this exhaust on. Yeah, this is just half of the kit that you would get if you ordered this from Exhaust Works, because obviously I already have half of it when I get straight pipe. So you can do Exhaust Works do the straight pipe version, which is this, or they do a muffler version, which is this, and they are interchangeable, both of them. So if you want to, you can always just buy both, and then you can have the choice of having it loud or having it a little bit quieter like this. So this is just this back section here. So all we need to do is take that clamp off. We're going to keep the tips, so you take the tips off, and then this bit is just going to literally sit in there. All the hangers already pre-made. I'm not sure if this one is this side or that side. We're going to have a look, but yeah, hopefully it shouldn't take me too long. Right, one thing Gary did say is to use some exhaust paste, so I'm pretty sure we've got some. Just need to put some exhaust paste in the gaps here, obviously so it doesn't leak through. That one's off, 13mm. Get this one off here. 13mm, get the tip off. Buzzing, can't wait for this. Honestly guys, it was too loud for me. It's not that bad for most people, it won't be that bad, but for me, I really don't like loud cars. Obviously, I think there's a few engines that can pull it off, but again, it's my bloody daily, it was way too much. Right, with the old one off, a bit difficult getting it out of the hangers. It's gonna go like this, slide it in the front one. Thought it was gonna hit me on the head then, I thought, oh no, this is gonna work. Need to put some exhaust paste in here, buckle them, tighten it down, and that's one side done. And I can't wait to hear it, honestly, I can't wait, it's gonna sound so much nicer. Okay, so that one's on, looks like this. And this one's on, it looks like this. Now every single time I come outside, it starts raining. Does everyone else have that? I feel like someone's put a fucking hex on me. Every time I come outside, I either touch my camera or a tool, it just starts fucking pissing it down. And it's so annoying, look how fucking drenched I am. Ugh. Honestly, sometimes I think, why did I choose this YouTube life? Right, so I'm just going to just look here and make sure they look straight before I put the tips on, which they look even, they do to me. Get the tips on and let's fire her up. Cannot wait. It's the only thing that's been keeping me going, the excitement of listening to it, even though I'm absolutely fucking drenched. Right, I'm absolutely piss wet through. It took me a while to line them up, the tips, but I've got the tips lined up now. That's the best I can get them. I'm pretty sure they're fine. It's just when you keep staring at it for fucking 20 minutes, you keep seeing little imperfections. I'm absolutely pissed wet through. Great, I left my window down. Great, awesome, that's cool. I actually don't know where the keys are, to be honest. So I think what I might do is, I want to start it up, but obviously I need to get my camera out there and you guys aren't going to hear it when it's on this, so I need to get it on the main camera when it's pissing it down. So I might give it a few minutes, so I might find a little jacket for the camera and then we'll start it up, but it's not going to be the end of the video. Obviously, at the end of the video for me, it's absolutely pissing it down. But I'll pick it up, obviously, when it stops raining, so we've got some more shit to do. Okay, I've made a little umbrella for the camera. So let's fire her up. Right, first start. Instantly sounds so much more classier. I'll let it warm up for a sec. Still loud, obviously, but it's took that ras away, like the V6 ras kind of tinny, you know that tinny sound. It's took that away and it sounds beefier again. So people, we are carrying on where we left off. I think at the start of the video, it's actually been like 5 days or even almost a week since I filmed the exhaust video. And we're so busy at the minute, we're just doing things here and there. We're going to be carrying on with Jaguar. We've got a lot of things to do. We've changed the exhaust, it sounds so much better. There's actually a lot of things I want to do. First of all, I still actually never got around to changing that Screenwash pump. Remember in the first videos, on these cars I suffer with an issue that the Screenwash pump, it actually pushes, instead of pushing, let me get one out to show you, instead of actually pumping it through the lines into the windscreen, it pushes it out the connector at the top, and this bit gets wet and it actually pushes Screenwash up the wiring loom. It goes down into the BCMs, body control modules underneath the car, and it's not good. So I just unplugged mine. I've not had mine plugged in for a few weeks, but I need to plug it in. So we've got one here. First of all, let's change that. Now the Screenwash thing is literally just behind the wheel arch. It's pretty easy to get to. Now if you have a Jag of this age or of this year, or especially an XF, I would definitely do this, because like I've seen some pictures online of how bad it makes the BCM just from this thing, and you wouldn't even realise it. I had no idea until I literally just read a forum online. So if you've got an XF, check this, and worst of all, change it. I think that was like £15 and £20 on eBay to get that Screenwash pump. 100%, because honestly this can ruin ECUs and ruin wirings in the car and stuff. Oh my god, I've just stood on it and I've just fucking snapped it. Oh my god. Oh my god, I'm so annoyed with myself. I've just snapped this bit off it. Oh my god, I'm so annoyed with myself. Fuck it, I'm gluing it down. I'm not wasting it. It's like literally that. I'm Tiger Sealing it. Fuck this, man. I've bought a full tin of Tiger Seal and it's pretty much all fucking dried. All in there's dried. and the fucking lid itself is all dried. What a waste. Can someone please tell me how to stop sealant things from drying? I never know how to. Some people say cut them at an angle. I cut them at a fucking angle and I put all fucking shit around the end, and all it does is just dry all the time. Is that honestly dried all the way through? Mate, this is going to be one of those days, isn't it? I may as well go inside now. Right, some of it's coming out, so I'm just going to try and... Oh, that's the thing, I can't fill the hole up. This is the thing, I'm going to have to just go around the outside of it. PMA, guys, this is going to work. Positive mental attitude. Right, I've coated it in Tiger Seal. I'm going to let that dry a little bit because it is where it needs to be at the minute. So I'm going to just let that dry where it needs to be. I'm going to just put some more Tiger Seal just around where the actual seal is. And hopefully that should work. I think it should, because Tiger Seal holds bloody planes together, so I'm pretty sure it won't have any trouble holding this little plastic nipple on. Now the next thing we need to do, I'm not looking forward to. If you remember in the last episode when we got stranded, we literally got stranded by the Jag. So anyway, I thought, well, luckily it was just a thermostat. It was just the thermostat that was that broke. Basically, the thermostat just shattered into 100 different pieces. So what we're doing is I've actually bought a new thermostat. We need to change the thermostat. Now on these you can't just change out the thermostat itself, it's the whole housing, and it's an absolute nightmare to get to some of the clips to get the hoses off. And I'm really not looking forward to this, but right now we're running without a thermostat, and I think it's leaking from somewhere, a little tiny bit from where the thermostat was, because we're losing a little bit of coolant. So I'm pretty sure it is leaking from where maybe we've put it back together and the seal's not closed properly. But anyway, with Jag, you buy the whole unit. Thermostat's in here. Now I had a few options to get. I had a really cheap one or an expensive one. Or well, there was three. There's a really cheap one, a medium one, and an expensive one. I ended up going with the expensive one just because the OEM ones broke on me. So I've gone with the expensive one. I think it was about £40. It's not too bad. The only other thing to do was get it from Jag themselves, and even then they had to order it in, and it was like 80 quid. So I've gone for this one. This is an actual Jag specialist. So well, I've heard of Motorrad, but it's from a company called Ashwood Jag Parts. It looks fancy, it sounds fancy, so I went with it. So this is, does that not come with a seal on there? This is a thermostat. So the thermostat actually sits in this bit here. You can actually see it down there. Hopefully there's not meant to be a rubber ring around this bit here. It looks like there's meant to be, hopefully there isn't. But it's a whole new unit, which makes it easier, but also makes it a bit of a pain because you've got to take off all the hoses and they're a nightmare to get to. So let's just get started because this needs to go on. The car's been fine running without the thermostat, but it's obviously on there for a reason. An older car wouldn't really care, but with a car like this that's so picky about everything, I'm sure there might be some long-term differences if you're not running the thermostat at all, and I'm sure the car's been designed to flow with this in. So we are going to put a thermostat back in there, and when it starts getting colder as well, it's going to help the car warm up a lot quicker as well. So let's start changing this. I'm really not looking forward to it. Right, once they're undone, that just pulls out there like that. Jubilee clip here, airbolts will just pull out. If not, you'll have one bolt there, one, or I think there might be two, but I'm pretty sure it's just one. Yeah, one. Actually looks really simple to do. Now this is your secondary temp sensor, so you're going to want to unplug that and just bring that out of the way. You're going to have to change that temp sensor over as well. Last time I wasn't entirely sure how it comes out. It looks like it just spins out. I think you've got to give it a twist and then give it a pull, but I'm really scared about breaking that because last time I didn't really know how it come out. But if we can just take the whole unit off together, then we'll be able to see how it comes out. Now be careful of these coolant lines here because they are plastic and they will snap, and if they snap there is no fixing that, so please be careful with them. And I'm saying that to you guys and to myself. The hose we've got to get off: this hose, that hose, this hose, and this hose. And there's 4 hoses, and they're an absolute, these two are okay, so I've had these 2 off, but this one down here is going to be an absolute pain, and this one down here is going to be even more of a pain. Well, let's just get some tools and let's just see what we can do. Right, just pulled this top hose. This one was easy to get to, so let's just let the coolant drain out. I might actually remove this top hose here actually, because it'll just get it out of the way for us to change the others. Okay, so I've got 2 off, so we don't actually need to take that bottom hose off. We don't actually need to move that coolant temperature sensor. All we got to do is just take this pin out, and where I thought that seal sits, that pin just sits. So if we get a flathead screwdriver in here, take this pin out, there is a little bit of coolant that's got inside the sensor there, so we make sure we clean that off, otherwise that's going to start corroding the pins. Just ping this back without it going into a different dimension. These clips are the fucking devil. And don't anybody go in the comments and say, oh, if you get the proper tool, the ones that are like a cable. If you say that in the comments, you have no idea how to work on cars, because they don't work. There are no tools which get these clips off easily. The only tool involved in this is the fucking dickhead who decided it would be a good idea to put these instead of Jubilee clips. I'm struggling here, guys. I'm struggling to get that pipe off, but more importantly, I hate when manufacturers do this. They put plastic binding to plastic. It happens with the VWs. I've had this before with another coolant pipe where plastic goes on plastic, and when plastic gets hot, it basically just welds itself to each other. So I'll remove the clip from this bit. This bit's plastic and it's sitting in another plastic bit. I have to get that off. Honestly, so it's hard. Sometimes I've actually had to use hammers and chisels and stuff to separate these two plastic bits. And obviously the thing is then is that you risk damaging the connector. Like, so this thing is really, I'm struggling to get this bit off with this attached, but I'm struggling to get this bit off with this attached, and not one of them are coming off. Almost got this bit here with where I'm standing on it, but oh my god, that's why I hate working on cars like this. Like, whatever happens to just having a metal pipe with a rubber hose that goes over the Jubilee clip? Like, what's wrong with that? Do you know what I mean? Right, if I keep wiggling, oh fuck, I think this bottom plastic one's gonna come off. It's definitely moving. If I keep wiggling, I should get this bottom one off, and then I should be able to pull it around. There we go. Fuck. Oh my god, what a choke. Hopefully I can get this last fucking shit off. Right, I've managed to get the grip on that bottom hose. It's still got a fucking bastard. Oh, right, give me the new one. I want to get this over and done with. Right, I'm going to put them stupid clips in the top. I'm going to put the Jubilee clip on the one that we're going to put back on, so that should be 10 times easy to put it on there and just tighten it down. Right, absolute nightmare. I've got it on. Put a Jubilee clip down there on that one. I'll put a Jubilee clip on this one, because them two are like the hardest one. They were so hard. Oh my god, that was an absolute nightmare. So what we're going to do is we're going to just put the airbox back on, because I wouldn't just start it up like this just to make sure there's no leaks. But if this car to even start, the mass sensor has to be plugged in, and the mass sensor is on the airbox, so it's like you can't start it without the airbox on. And we're just going to run to Asda real quick, and they do some like ready mix coolant. If they've got some concentrate, even better. But I know they have coolant at Asda. Says we're going to hell frauds. We'll bleed it up. We'll show you how to bleed this car, because this car is an absolute nightmare to bleed. There's a really specific bleeding procedure from Jaguar. Right, to bleed this bitch, what we've got to do, we've got to take off this bleeder valve here, take that off, and we fill the coolant until this bit just keeps flowing out. So no gaps, no air. We keep filling it up to the max here until this bit flows out there. Once that bit keeps flowing out, we can tighten that, and we top up the coolant to full on here, and then we start the car, turn on the heaters, hold RPMs to 1500 for 2 minutes until hot air comes out, turn off the car, inspect coolant leaks, check for leaks, replace coolant cap, turn off the heater and start the vehicle holding it at 2000 for 8 minutes. Yes, this is the bleeder procedure. Okay, right, okay. So first of all, let's just do this. Already leaking. I can see it leaking from one of these hoses here. So I just put water in at the start just to make sure that I weren't wasting any coolant. Let's just put a bit of water in, and it's leaking from here. I think it's from that top Jubilee. So we'll tighten that Jubilee clip a little bit, see if that stops it. So remember that pipe, the bigger pipe that put the Jubilee clip on? It's leaking from there. The Jubilee clip is on the final thing, and it's just not tight enough. So the Jubilee clip is like maybe like 5 mil too big. So I think I'm going to steal this one off the Mustang. It's a bit shorter and it goes all the way around. So I'm going to steal this one off the Mustang, and I think that one on there will fit on this one on here. So we'll steal this one off the Mustang, swap them over, and hopefully this one fits on this one. Okay, the new Jubilee clip is on, and it seems to be all good. So we can carry on, put some more coolant in so it flows out here, then we'll fire up and hopefully it don't come out when it's pressurized. It's very annoying when we can't start the car without the mass sensor plugged in. And it doesn't have to be just plugged in, like it has to all be connected and tightened up, otherwise it just freaks out and just shuts the car off. But with that all airbox with the all the airbox on, you can't really see the thermostat that well. Luckily I did see it a minute ago, but I just put the coolant in and see how we go. Right, so we've got to come inside, we've got to start it up, heater's on full, and we've got to keep it at 1500 RPM. Okay, so after this we need to turn off the car, go and inspect for leaks, and if that's good we put the coolant cap back on. Still leaking. It's leaking from one of these back hoses. It's leaking from somewhere down there, and I think that's one of the pipes I've not even removed that it's leaking from. Fuck's sake, man, this is a joke. So it's leaking from this bit here. That's the bit that's got an internal seal. I don't really know how to fix that, to be honest, because that's not even a hose, that's just like that's the plastic on plastic bit. Fuck's sake, again, just use hoses. Like, why is it all plastic? I'm really starting to get annoyed with this car, I'm not gonna lie. I've got it running without this mass sensor, which is good, so I can actually finally see. I've manoeuvred the pin a little bit and removed it a little bit, and it looks okay so far. I'm gonna let it get up the temperature a little bit. Let me rev it without this intake on. As far as the engine management light's not come on, to be fair, you can shoot. Right, so it doesn't leak until you push it over to put the bolt in, and then it must angle the seal weird, and then now it's pissing it out again. Oh my god, like, so it doesn't leak if I don't have it bolted in there, but if I've got it bolted in there, it angles the seal weird, and then it starts leaking. Definitely leaking. So I'm going to put the old one back in and get onto this company and say thanks for wasting my fucking time, you wankers. I've honestly not been pissed off like this in fucking ages. I've lost that fucking Jubilee clip again. Fuck this car! I've had this off about 4 times and it's not fucking easy at all. And now I've lost that Jubilee clip again. Yeah, I'm going to put the old one back in just to triple make sure that it is this part. I've kind of measured them against each other, and this one, or the new one, is like, I'd say like literally a millimetre thinner. It's not as wide, you can just see it with your eye, but like you can tell. So I just don't think it's touching the seal, or it is, but it's just not touching it enough. So I'm going to put the old one back in and just fill it with water and just make sure that it's not leaking, and then that'll just triple make sure that it is that new part. Yeah, it's the new thing. It's not sealing. This one's fine. I'm moving it all over the place and it's not leaking at all. If I did that with the other one, it'd piss around. If I touch it with a screwdriver, did that with the other one, it'd just leak out, piss out. So what a day. So the whole day, most of the day I've been doing this, and I'm back exactly where I started because I've been sent a part that doesn't fit right. So I'm not happy, and this is just absolutely pisses me off. Like the amount of time I don't have at the minute, and like this has been happening so much where I'm just like, videos just taking all day, and it's not ideal because it's like 2 days of work for one video, and it's just like it just doesn't become feasible when that's the case. That means I could drive it around for a bit. I mean, it's not ideal keep driving it around without a thermostat in, but it is what it is. I put a refund request in on eBay for it and sent them some pictures, and they just refunded it straight away. So I mean, that's good news, I suppose. I mean, it's not the ideal, so I've literally wasted a day's worth of work and coolant, so I'm out of pocket massively, but it is what it is, I suppose. Shit happens. So I'm just going to get one from Jaguar, I think. I'm just going to ring Jaguar today. The only reason I didn't get it from Jaguar at the start was because I had to wait 2 or 3 days for them to order it in, and I have to go and pick it up from middle of Manchester. So I thought, well, I'll just order online, it's just going to take the same time. But now I've learned the hard way. I'm just going to get an OEM one from Jaguar, I think. I've just had an idea. They've already refunded me for that. I don't think they want me to send it back to them or anything. I think they've already refunded it. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to take that thermostat apart and just put the thermostat into that housing. I think that's that makes sense. Like, you know, that could work. So it's actually easy to get to the thermostat as well. So it's just that the one hose here, and then we take these 3 bolts off, and then that's a thermostat. So I think we do that. I think we take this apart. Let's not make, you know, let's try to end on a positive, and let's just take this apart and just see exactly where it goes, and then try to
try to replicate it as best as possible. I think we do that, right? It makes sense. Give it a go anyway. Okay, so I've got the top off. Unfortunately, it doesn't sit the same. It just doesn't sit flat in there. It kind of feels like it does go into the little groove, but it just doesn't sit flat. Like that should be sitting flat. It's not. And it's not actually sealing, so it's, and then when I put the next bit, it like comes way too high. So unfortunately, I'm gonna have to order one from Jag. That's not gonna work. Absolutely fuming. At least we give it a go. So definitely, guys, I love you all. I'll see you in the next one.